lot like doing market research and seeing what people are interested in and what sort of things that they're interested in and how you can tie that back to what your business actually does. And that is, in my opinion, what marketing actually is. Marketing is matching what your company actually does, the value that it delivers, to the clients and what they actually need, okay? And that's basically what we're going to do here. And we're going to go through and we're going to do each one of these steps and we'll talk a little bit more about them. On the gather data step, what you want to do is you want to, first of all, you're going to have a brainstorming session, get all the interested parties together in the room, and just think about things. If you offer a physical product, even if you don't, it's really helpful for a physical product. If you can think about some nouns and some adjectives, is it fast, is it heavy, is it light, is it small, is it big, is it purple, is it whatever. These are really important adjectives that will probably help differentiate yourself from the competition as well. And of course you want to talk to your customers. It's all about the way that they think. So go to your customers, ask them how they found you initially, why they found you. Did they look at the competition? Why did they choose you over the competition? Ask them all these questions. That's really going to be important, not only for this, but for your business in general, right? Another useful tool at this point, the only tool that I would really recommend during this sort of data gathering session would be to look at your search logs, or if you use like Google Analytics, or if you use some other kind of web tracking system, you can get information on what search terms people are already using to get to your website, and that might be really kind of telling in a number of different ways, probably because the only reason that they can find you on the search engines right now is because there's certain words that you're using on your website, and that may or may not be what you want them to find you for, right? So you can go back and you can evaluate if your website is already using the right terms. We'll talk about some of those other tools in there and how we can actually use them to your benefit a little bit later. And of course, check the competition. Go to their websites, look at the source code, see if they got any keyword metadata in there. Do some keyword searches on them, like on Google or Yahoo or whatever, and see where they come up. If there is no keyword metadata in their source code, that's going to tell you a couple of different things. If there is keyword metadata in there, that's great, useful stuff for you. You can use that, and those are some keywords that you probably want to go after. And then you can use those keywords in the searches, and you can see where they come up and see where they rank, and you can basically evaluate them for how well their search engine optimization and search engine marketing is actually working. The other thing is if there's keyword data is not in that source code, then you can also assume that their search engine marketing efforts really, they're not doing anything there. So you might be a couple of steps ahead of them in that respect, and you might be able to take advantage of some of those things. Any questions? Yes?
How is it that you get the source code again? I was forgetting.
Depends what kind of browser you're using, but generally speaking, all you have to do is go to the page you're looking at, take your mouse, right-click on the page, and there's usually a view source option. To your customers, you brainstormed, you got some good descriptions of what your product and offerings are, you looked at your referral logs, and you kind of see what people are using already to search for your website. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to look at what your organization actually does. Specifically, what's really important here is if you are going after competency, right? If you're that HR training coach, guys down in Florida, and you want to bring people to your website, well, what is it that they're going to be looking for? They might be looking on, okay, how to evaluate the leaders of our company. It might be, a search term that they use. It's not competency per se. Okay, so during our sort of data gathering environment, we came up with that keyword phrase, evaluating leadership qualities. Okay, great. Now, what do we offer as a company that equates to that? Do we have a white paper? Are they going to show up on our website and get an article? Can we give them a webinar? Do we have a training module? Do we have an article written by the newspaper, like an objective third-party article or something that we can give them? Something needs to tie in with the keywords that you're using. You can't just use a random keyword that you want to be associated with and then offer the visitor to your website nothing in return. The relevancy there is completely lost. This is the stage where you look at what you do as an organization and the list of keywords that you just came up with and start matching them together and say, well, we don't actually have anything. And as a small business, if you points are, it's not really pragmatic to go and say, oh, what we'll do is we'll write a new white paper. We'll hire someone to write a white paper for us, or we'll ask Joe in tech support to go write a white paper for us. Joe's already like super busy. He's up to here with too much stuff to do anyway. So where are you going to get this white paper from? That's the thing that's holding you up from launching any of your efforts, any of your campaigns. You're going to be waiting 6 months, a year before you can actually get anything done and see any tangible results. So what I always advise is look and see what you have on hand. You already might have a training manual that maybe is not overtly perfect for the outside world in a generic sense like this, but if you touch it up a little bit and take 3 or 4 hours or something like that just to touch it up and put that out there as a white paper, or take an existing webinar and record it and offer that up as something for somebody to come to you and get, you'll be able to make that trade-off. And so now you'll be able to use your existing assets, what you do, and the value that you actually provide, and tie that together with the keywords that you already have that exist in the assets, with the keyword, the things that the actual people are looking for. Questions on this step and how to go about doing it, or possible? Yes?
In general, why do people those PDFs? Descriptions can't see PDFs, right?
Nope. Well, yes and no. They can and they can't. One really great way of doing it depends on what your model is going to be. Okay, so you can do it as an organic search, and in that particular case, you want to have as much of that index. But what you can do is you can still have that PDF as a download, which may or may not get access. But you might want to, and it depends what your objectives are for your website as well. That's something else that's really important, is figure out what your goals are going to be for your website. It's really important that your website have a tangible goal, something that you can like hold up as an actual, if we do this, we succeed. If we don't, we fail.
They still have coffee going. We need to get
Awesome.